I'm going to do a guided visualization at the end that will open up your mind to all that's possible. So we're going to start off by sharing, right? Sharing because often we start to see people from all over the world. And how did we all get here together on this Zoom call at this time? Just to happen to be part of the algorithm, happen to be free, happen to be all these things. And I want you to just take a look at each person here because you have much more in common with these folks from all over the world than you think. Often we're feeling the same thing. And sometimes we think that we're doing it right and we're in flow and we're like, this is wonderful and feels so good. And then a lot of the time we feel like, oh no, we're doing it wrong. This shouldn't be like this. I shouldn't do this. I couldn't, right? And I just want you to know something. You're doing it exactly right. And if anybody's worked with me before, you may have heard me say that before. You're doing it exactly right. And what do I mean by that? This is life, and the school of life has a difficult curriculum, and perhaps we're meant to experience some pain. What if we didn't experience any pain? Would pleasure be as sweet? Would we grow and learn? What if we didn't experience heartbreak in a toxic relationship? Could we understand what a great, positive, supportive relationship was? What if we didn't experience physical pain or illness? Would we really appreciate our body? So you're not doing it wrong. We're meant to have issues and difficulties, meant to not get it right. It's what life is. And you're alive. All right, we're going to take one more. Kathy, hi there.
Hello. Nice to see everyone. Happy New Year. I just wanted to put a plug in for Jim's responsibility in getting me to where I am right now. I ended up taking a few of his courses last year and met probably the best of my friends that I'm still in touch with from all over the world, and ended up starting my own coaching business too. I worked on Jim's team for a bit, and I just want to tell you, if you're ready for new beginnings, whether it's relationships, job, just a new reinvented you, this is the place to be. And I used to be scared of hypnosis. I remember emailing Jim. I'm like, I want to start the course, but I'm scared of hypnosis. He said, there's nothing to be scared about. So to this day, I listen to the recordings and just nothing but good things.
Ah, thank you for that, Kathy. So nice to see you. Thank you for joining. There are things in our lives that we don't recognize that our programming and our identity are speaking as spells through our words and allowing us to actually create. We're stepping into this future and life is moving fast, even if you're staying in the same place. I know that I would often say over and over again exactly what I wanted to do. And I would just be in the same place every year, New Year's resolutions. I would say, this is what I want. I want to get into shape. I want to make more money. I want to do these things. And every year would be the same thing. In fact, I found a journal once that was 10 years old, and I had written the same things in it that I had written in a new journal just a few days before. And that's when I said, how long will you actually think, hope, and wish for what you want before you actually make a change? How long are you going to do it? Until you actually take action. You may be in this session if you just want some motivation, but you may also be in it if you don't want to settle for the same patterns and disappointments. You may have come here because you're struggling with a breakup. A lot of people come to me because they know that I know how to get out of a relationship. and help them get out of a relationship, or they've broken up and they're recovering from it, or someone has passed and they're recovering from it. You may, like a lot of, I was sick of feeling bad watching other people have fun and be connected, and or feel trapped in a dead-end career. I was controlled by venture capitalists for a very long time, and I decided that I wanted to help people and go it on my own. Or if you want to learn to thrive and focus out, if you, maybe you want to be a coach or a leader or just help people because that's what feels good. And you may be here because you just want to start to effortlessly attract by changing your energy. So I'm going to show you how to change the gap between where you are and what you want. In some way, deep within you, there's a purpose that may have led you here today. Even if you don't see it now, I want to make sure that you know that it's there. And it's our purpose is to live a beautiful life, to really have a gorgeous, beautiful life where we feel joy and connection and love. And we wake up smiling and happy and excited for the day instead of anxious and immediately on our phone overthinking or going to bed and not being able to sleep. Where there's this potential to be excited about being alive. And life wants us to be specific about what we want. So you may know what you don't want, and you probably can say what you don't want, but do you know what you want? And can you say it aloud to anybody with confidence? And so I ask you, what do you want? This is the first step. And so are you focused more on what you don't want than what you want? This is a big one too. You get what you focus on. There's a story I tell about I had appendicitis recently. I was in the hospital, and as I was in the hospital or even at home, it was just flaring up so much, and I was focused on all the things I didn't want. I started to think about more of all those terrible things that could happen in my life. And as I started to think about all those terrible things that could happen in my life or happen at the hospital or all those things, I started to get sicker and sicker. And I just said to myself, I need to follow what I preach. And so I started to think about as I'm laying in the emergency room on the gurney in New York City with people sick all around me, I started to think about what's the best outcome that I want. And I started to think, I want the nurse and the doctor to come down and say, you know what? We're just going to let you walk out of here right now. And I started to think about what's the feeling in my body if that was to happen. Oh, that's expansiveness. Am I feeling that now? No, I'm feeling contraction and fear. So I start to feel expansiveness and I start to focus on that. And then I said, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to be out of here by 9:30 p.m. Usually you wait in this emergency rooms in New York City until 1:30, 2 a.m. And so this is what I wanted. And as I started to only focus and meditate on that expansiveness, they come right over and say, we're ready for you to go into the MRI machine. And I went into the MRI machine and they said, usually the results take a really long time. And I said, no, the results are going to come back quickly. And I focused on the expansiveness of that. The results came back quickly. And I said, the results are going to be really positive. And she's, it looks like you have appendicitis. I was like, oh no. And I was like, all right, listen, this isn't stopping me. This is going to have a big outcome. I'm going to be walking out of here at 9:30. And quickly the surgeon comes down and he says, you have appendicitis. And he says, but it doesn't look like we have to operate. And I said, oh, I thought all appendicitis just removed your appendix. He said, no, actually, it doesn't look like we have to. It's like, really? I was like, can I leave? And he said, yes, yeah, just so let the nurse give you some antibiotics quickly, and then we'll let you walk out of here. I said, well, that's the best case scenario. So got the antibiotics and I'm walking out and I leave the front door of the hospital. And what time do you think it was? 9:32. There is so much that's possible when we focus on what we can potentially create, right? And that's because our subconscious mind is what's creating for us. The subconscious mind is the inner self is the result of our beliefs and programming. So if you are telling yourself or following that inner program that's been created. If a child had parents that were inconsistent and follow through on promises, your belief may be that people are not being trusted or not trustworthy, and your reality is untrusted and guarded. If you believe that you don't make it through positive, difficult situations, if you believe that you're not doing life, if you believe that bad things happen to you, that's what happens. That's your operating system. So sometimes you have to go into your subconscious mind. Tell yourself that you're the boss, that you want to create a new reality in the inner self. And you create a different outward reality in response to that. And you can start to actually create a new identity, an identity that's built upon new programs and beliefs, because an identity is built on your subconscious. And you start to use your confirmation bias, which is that thing, if I was to say your confirmation bias is the thing that allows you to find everything you believe in life. It's your reticular activating system. So if you believe something, you will go out and find it in your life no matter what. That's scientifically proven in psychology. So now how do we change the confirmation bias in the inner self so that we can always be expansive and have what we want like I did in that room? And so many things in my life are been so crazy like that that the miracles just keep happening. That's just one instance that what I said I wanted would happen. And you can have it because understanding the inner self shapes the world that's around you. And so I've undergone massive change. I've reprogrammed my inner self. I've had more program in my life. Even what's painful, it's often what we don't control. So instead, we learn things over time and we start to have these limiting beliefs. And as we learn over time, then our teachers and our parents and all these parts of us start to tell us that we need something more, even in advertising. We start to create a reality that our subconscious says that we need more and more, and that we're don't not doing it right, and that we're limited and we're stuck until we're trapped in this cage that we feel that we can't escape. And this becomes our identity. So as we start to change this, as we start to say, I'm going to consciously change this so that I can have my dreams, that I can have it, that I want to do this, that I want the partner, that I want the career, that I want to work out, right? Our inner self starts to sabotage us. We start to feel doubt or fear, or we have a New Year's resolution that we take a few weeks to do and then we decide not to do it after a few months, or we start to go out on dates and cancel, or start to fear that they don't like us, or whatever it is. We start to sabotage it because the inner self is still there feeling stuck. It's going back to the same old relationship or the same old patterns because we're never receiving the joy and love and abundance that we're looking for because that programming is stopping us. We don't go into expansion. We stay in the contraction. But I've helped a lot of people thrive and grow, and I'm here to let you know that this can change and what subconscious reprogramming does, and you can do it yourself, that this can change. And you can start to allow the inner self to believe in exactly what you want consciously. So the first step is where we are. Know what you want and boldly go after it. Not what you think that you want, not what you think that you should want. So a lot of us often feel like, okay, I want a lot of money, right? And that's what we think we should want. But really, maybe you don't want a lot of money. Maybe you want to live out in a farm somewhere. Helena, don't start drawing again, please. So I don't know how to control that at all. So please don't start drawing again. So there is this idea that we want things because that's what society says. I really want that bag, but do you really need that bag? And it starts, maybe that's what our parents say that we want, or that's what our partners say that we want. That's what an X said that I want. But what is it that you're really called to? What is it that you really want? You have to start to get in touch with what you really want for yourself. And I'll tell you this, what you're not changing is what you're actually choosing, even if it's in the subconscious mind. And if you change the energy, you change the result. So I have a niece that is looking for she's wonderful, lived in New York City, had trouble with her job, had trouble with dating, just had trouble with everything in general. And she didn't know what to do. And she decided to make a big change. She changed the energy of where she was living, quit her job, went to grad school, moved to California. Everything changed for her. As soon as she made a difficult change to change the energy around her, dating someone she loves, got an incredible job offer, is doing wonderful at school, loves California. And sometimes it just takes a movement, a big move, whether it's taking a course or doing something different with your life, investing in yourself in some way. Take a big step forward to change your energy to get it flowing, and things start to align. That's your first step. So getting clear and into alignment, as humans, we tend to be very strong signals saying that we're living out of alignment. They come from our suffering, loneliness, overthinking, frustration, hopelessness. You know when you're out of alignment, right? But what do we often do? Sometimes we numb out that feeling. We settle and accept that's just the way it is. We judge. We try to change it for a little while, then we give up. We start to scroll more, eat more food, or we consciously make a resolution not to, and then it changes. But they just tell you what needs to change. Being out of alignment and all these things, just telling you that you're in the perfect position to transform at this moment, the perfect position to transform. And when you become into alignment, when you can feel the expansion and focus more on what you want than what you don't want, change the internal programming so that you can actually have it. All of a sudden, all these people that you talk about that say, I'm a master manifestor, what I think about just happens. It becomes true for you. It's not that the bad things don't happen anymore, it's that they don't affect you as much. It's like magic, you are no longer stuck. Miracles start to happen, new people appear, you find money, and you just get into alignment with the energy that you want. And I have to include this quote because I just loved it, from the last group that I had. This woman wrote me a note, and she said, everything's happening. Loans are being forgiven. Men are commenting on me, not that I want that right now. So it's nice to have. I'm calmer. I'm getting along with my daughter more. And I'd love to see that. It's just about getting into alignment. So how do you get into alignment? I want to ask you this question. What are you doing when you forget to check your phone? What are you doing when you forget to check your phone? And I just want to ask all of us to stop for a moment, and we're going to go into a breakout room. Welcome back, everybody. In our groups, the reason why I keep them small is because we get to know each other so well that we go into a breakout room and everybody comes back laughing and giggling because they've had so much fun talking to each other. Next, what we really start to do is getting into alignment. The question that asks ourselves, what would you do if you were not afraid? So we start to think about what we really want. How do we get into alignment? How to become that magical creature that can think of what they want and just achieve it, always be in expansion and start to change our subconscious mind. It starts with these questions. So if we all just want to take a minute and close your eyes, there's nothing that you have to do here. We're not getting into our hypnosis yet or our guided visualization. Just as we're getting into alignment, I want you to close your eyes and imagine really your ideal day. Maybe in the future, And on your ideal day, what do you see? Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? Is there food around you? Is there a smell? What's the feeling you have? Do you feel safe? Or is it a feeling of excitement? A feeling of joy? Are you in nature? Is it by the water or the ocean? Are you just in a park by your house? Are there pets there? Are there kids there? Let it radiate through your chest, the potential and what you have possible in this situation. See how it feels in your body to be part of it. What are you grateful for this day? Let that gratitude move through you. Good. Now, as you open your eyes, start to hold on to that feeling. Opening up your eyes now. Start to move on to that feeling of peacefulness and of gratitude. Because we have the potential to live in our ideal day most days. I could show you how. Because the first step of change is uncovering the story that we're telling ourselves. So why are we not living in that ideal day more often, being that person that attracts exactly what we want? And sometimes that story is that we're not enough for it or that we can't actually have it. That ideal day is too far away or that we have to do something before it or it's not for us. If you want to change the outcomes you're getting in life and stress, you need to change that inner self, the subconscious mind. Change the subconscious programming and reconnect to the energy. And we have to see the past for what it is. We have to let go of the past and see it for what it is. Just really a powerful lesson. Really a powerful lesson. That's what the past is, mostly a powerful lesson. So as we create a new identity and reality that we can achieve what we want, right? So we've been told up to this point that we have this identity, this belief in who we are. And so now we have to say to ourselves consciously and subconsciously, who are you no longer willing to be this year? Who are you no longer willing to be? Who will you refuse to be? If you were to say, I am taking back control, I am now the voice inside my head. I am the higher self. I am something bigger than this voice and this identity and this action. Who are you no longer willing to be? That's where we start. But oftentimes we have to be willing to let go of something to have that. What story do you have to let go of? What person do you have to let go of? What fear do you have to let go of? To make space for something new. Now, there's this idea, and many have talked about it, philosophies throughout time, that creating a new identity creates a new reality because what you believe you are, the I am, allows you to have it, right? If you create an identity and a belief and a reality, then, I am a manifester. You will manifest what you want. I am happy and in love. I am love itself. Everybody that you see, you'll be in love with, and they'll love you. Some romantic and some just platonic, but if you believe that, you have it. It becomes your reality. I bet some people say about the I am. Guess what? Your I am was created by humans. Your I am was just created like everything else. Some people say, I even hear some people be like, I'm that kind of gal. I'm that kind of guy. I'm a meat and potatoes type of guy. And they say their preference type of person. They use I am a lot. And then some people say the Buddhists don't ever say don't use the I am because like you become attached to it. I think it's okay to really identify as something, but make sure it's really powerful because I am that statement gets to your consciousness itself. It becomes your identity. So the more we say I am, the more we actually become it, the more reality is it. So when you want to change, you just start saying, I am, literally telling your system exactly what you want. I am not a smoker. I am a lovable person. I am attracting the person into my life that I want. I am is a spell that you can use that is incredibly powerful because knowing that nothing is actually real. Your I am who you think you are today, as you say, I am this type of person, was created by your parents and your teachers and their parents and handed down to you in your programming. So let's start to reprogram. And when you start to reprogram, I want you to choose an archetype. I want you to choose the person who you want to be. Go out there. Think about that person. It could be Oprah. I don't care who it is. But you start to model your new I am after them. You have write down the specific actions that they do, exactly what they do, and act in accordance with them. And announce, I am this type of person. I am a coach. I am someone who spreads love. I am capable. Whatever your I am that you want to be, start to announce it now and tell your subconscious and your consciousness itself exactly what you are. Our beliefs create a reality, and what you believe is possible dictates every experience in your life. So when we start to align with the future we want to create, we create a new software around it. So as we start to manifest our destiny, you can decide that you no longer want to be, right? I am no longer going to be this person. Instead, I am identifying with the story that I am. I'm going to model a new I am. Create a big energy shift around it. I don't care if you're moving to California or you're just saying, I'm going to take this course or I'm going to become a coach, and you start to do it. And then whether you're actually in service of people or another, teaching it allows it to create new neural pathways in your head. So if your new I am is a lovable person or something else, the more that you teach it, and the Buddhists say, the more that you give it, the more that you have it. That's one possible way. So a possible way is whatever you want, in Buddhism, they say, whatever you want, give it, and you'll have it. Everything is out there for you to achieve in life already. What you want, you already is around you. It's looking for you and waiting for you to connect with it. You are at the perfect place at the perfect time. You've heard me say this before, and your opportunities are endless. So the last thing that we go through in our groups is the 369 method by Nikola Tesla. And this is repetition and use of numerology. And I really suggest that you guys try this with what you want to do because it takes an action that you then can start to change your subconscious mind with. So if you're interested in this, is one takeaway, which I suggest you go out and find some more information about. So giving what you want, planting the karmic seed, teach and learn, love to have love, coach. When in doubt, focus out. That's what a statement I love. When in doubt, focus out, meaning the more that you give, and I'm not saying that you give from an empty cup, right? I'm not saying that you don't pay attention to yourself and that you just give to people. That's not it. That's not it. You have to focus on yourself. But also, when you start to teach it, when you say, I'm investing in myself with this thing, I'm going to do it. And then you start to give to folks the things that you want. That is not from an empty cup, but that's from a place of true giving and source. and that's when you'll have more of it. So I ask you the question now, and I want to tell you about a course. This will take 2 minutes that if you're still lacking some quality, some clarity, my next course is starting. And my superpower is really seeing you. Many of you that have taken courses from me now know this. My superpower is seeing you and using my gifts to help you grow. So if you'd like my help in this next group, the first 60 days, we're starting off with 8 virtual 90-minute group sessions every Saturday at 11 a.m. And it starts 1/11. And then we'll have a full 1-day in-person experience in New York City with a private dinner on the 15th. And you will get a Curtis coaching certificate so that you can start to go out there and help and give on your own. So first we'll heal you and then show you how to heal others. There's only 25 people that will be in this group. Okay. I'd limit it to that. So if you'd like to join this group, you have to respond to the email I'll send you afterwards, or DM me on Instagram or call. Okay. Or email me. I'm sorry. There's no phone number. The course that we're going to be going through is Awaken and Alive, and it has some coaching sessions is there as well, so you can become or know the fundamentals of coaching yourself. Awaken and Align, all new teachings. It will have hypnosis. It will recording you small daily activities and chat so that you keep everything. But along with this, we're going to stay together for a year. After the first 60 days intensive, we're going to have 10 additional monthly sessions, okay, within the group. And the package is usually $10,000. But for the next couple days, it will be much less than that, significantly less. If you want to work together, if you feel called to that, if you want me to use my superpower to help you change your subconscious mind, and if you want to then, even potentially, if you have an inkling that you may want to help others, this could be something for you. Magic truly happens. Now I finally know what abundance is in my life. What I experienced in hypnosis session was truly profound. I have people that like all of a sudden they're making more money, they're in alignment, people think they're sexier, they're hitting on all cylinders when they go out into the world. They feel the energy in their body when we start to go through the chakras and bless them. They actually start to see such transformation in their lives. They're writing new books, they're starting new businesses, they're becoming great friends. So a lot of magic happens. They're getting divorces. They're finding new lovers. It's a wonderful experience. So my real goal is for you guys to look back on this moment and say, this is when everything changed. This is when it all changed. When it all changed for me. I have some folks that have been with me for a full year, and I'm so proud because they say this is when everything changed. In their life isn't that they don't have problems, it's that they go from thought to manifestation a lot easier, and the problems are far less difficult. Okay. Here's a technique that I use. All you have to do is cross your fingers like this. Put your 2 fingers up like this. Spread those fingers as far apart as you possibly can. Raise them up so your thumbs are at your nose so you can just easily look between the space in your fingers. Good. Okay. Now all you have to do is look at the space between your fingers. And as you look at that space between your fingers, I wonder if you can also see everything else out of the corners of your eyes at the same time. And as you look at that space through your fingers and notice everything you can see out of the corners of your eyes, your peripheral vision. And you listen to my voice and also hear everything else you can hear. We open up your perception. We open up your potential. As we start to talk to your subconscious mind, you may notice that your fingers start to come together as if a magnet is pulling them together. And as they start to come together, they may shake and twitch and shake. And all you have to do is look at the space between your fingers. Almost as if I have tied a string around your fingers and that string is getting tighter and tighter as they pull closer and closer. And as your fingers get closer and closer and you listen to my voice, when they touch, your eyes will close and your hands will simply drop comfortably in your lap. Eyes closed. And as your fingers get closer and closer, more and more, further and further, when they touch, your eyes will close and your hands will fall comfortably in your lap as your eyes get heavier and heavier and your fingers move closer and closer, almost as if a magnet brings them all the way together rapidly now, as if a string has pulled them, magnetic force. And when they touch, your eyes close heavier and heavier. That's right. Hands down. You're doing it exactly right. And as we simply allow this moment for us to actually be in control of our subconscious mind, we allow for this moment the sense of peace, noticing our breathing. And with each breath in, it's a relaxing moment. And with each breath out, our body gets a little bit heavier. And it's almost as though our breath is a breeze, breezing around our body. With each breath in, the breeze breezes, and with each breath out, it continues. And it's hard to tell whether you're breathing your breath or if you're breathing a breeze, but it doesn't really matter. It just allows you to go deeper. And the deeper you go, the more relaxed you get. And the more relaxed you get, the deeper you go, and your mind may wonder or wander, but you'll listen to every word that I say. It's almost as if there's a warm energy coming into the top of your head. And as that warm sunlight comes into the top of your head, it releases and relaxes all the muscles in your forehead. And as that energy comes in around your eyes, it just releases and relaxes all the muscles around your eyes, releasing and relaxing all the muscles of your eyelids, releasing and relaxing all the muscles and nerves behind your eyes. In fact, so relaxed, so heavy that your eyelids may close a little bit tighter and you may even try to open them, but the harder you try, the harder it becomes, and that's okay. Deep sleep. Good. For the purposes of hypnosis, each and every time I say deep sleep, you'll go quickly, calmly, and easily to this depth or even deeper, open for suggestions for your own highest good. That's right. You're always doing it right. And as you simply relax in this peacefulness, I want you to see, visualize, or imagine you're standing in a beautiful vista. This beautiful vista overlooks nature that makes you feel so connected. And as you look at this beautiful nature setting, perhaps you can see the blue sky. Perhaps there's even a cloud in that blue sky going left to right. And as you notice that cloud going left to right, I wonder if there's a bird in the distance that you can hear. Maybe there's even a rustle of an animal in the brush below. Allow the warm sunlight to warm your skin. And I wonder if you can smell the air, if there's salt or sea on the air, or if it's pine or wherever it is. The peacefulness of this place resonates with you. It's the expansive potential of you. And the question isn't why. We know why. We know why nature allows us to resonate. It's because we are nature. We start to think that we're separate from nature, but we're not. Anything looking down upon us would realize that we are actually nature, and as such, we are in perfect harmony. Just as the air feeds the trees, and the trees clean the air, and the sun feeds the fruit, and the fruit feeds the soil, we are also in natural harmony. We have the same oxygen as the air, the same minerals as the mountain. We have the same salt as the sea, the same DNA as many of the animals. We are in natural harmony, and as such, we are stronger than we ever knew, more capable, more powerful. We are as flexible as the wind. We are as powerful as the ocean. We can rise up and achieve. Feeling that as if the energy and the strength of the sun flows through you now, white light through the top of your head and out your fingertips. Anything is possible. You have the strength of creation within you. You are a creator. You've created life thus far, and you have the power to create whatever you want going forward. Just as energy creates life and nature creates energy, you are life energy. Feeling the excitement and potential of that. And here, where you're standing on this vista, there is a gentle sloping path down. And all you have to do is take one step, just like in life and all the other things. You don't have to take all the steps. You just take one step, and the next step follows, the step that's right for you. Taking one step, and the next step follows now. Stepping down that hill, you may even feel the earth beneath your boots. 8, 7, 6, stepping down now even deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep sleep. That's right. You're doing it exactly right. Now, here at the bottom of the hill, you can just simply walk around the path. Walk upon that wooden path. And as you walk upon the path, as life opens up to you, the energy of the around you just fills you so positively, so beautifully with excitement of what's to come. There may be a river that you notice next to you, and as that river runs, the water and energy of it becomes revitalizing, just as the energy within you starts to revitalize. You have been reborn in this moment. This is the birth of you. Anything is possible moving forward, and as you simply walk upon this path, you realize that there are people that are willing to help you, both here and past. You are supported. And as you walk upon this path, you come to a clearing. And as you stand in the clearing from the other side, you see something approaching. It is your spiritual guide. It is your protector. An animal, a person, a place, or a thing, and whatever it is, both living or not, they come towards you. And as you hold out your hands, you can see that they're bringing a gift for you. And as they come closer and closer, you feel the connection, the support of them. And they place the gift into your hand. And you notice it. Recognize the power of it, the beauty of it. And as you hold this gift to your heart, it turns to beautiful light and integrates and absorbs within you. You are whole and complete now. You have the potential to do anything you'd like. Almost as if this color, this energy flows through you, through every muscle fiber, nerve, bone, fascia, tissue in your body. So much so that it flows brighter and brighter, more and more, and you almost feel as though you're becoming the light itself. This beautiful, powerful light. And as this light grows in your heart, you start to see those beautiful things again that you're so grateful for. Holding hands with a loved one, a first kiss, a sunset, a sunrise, a baby's smile, that silly pet. It all comes flowing back to you that this is a beautiful life and you can have anything that you want. The future is wide open. And as that flows more from you, this light expands out of your fingertips and out of your toes, circling and twisting down your spine. It comes from your root chakra, flowing from you to everyone that you know and see. And a realization occurs, perhaps, an acceptance that this will be the best year of your life. Despite obstacles, despite problems, you are becoming more magnetic and you're meant to help. Good. Know that you've done it exactly right. You're doing it exactly right. Recognizing, accepting, integrating what needs to be accepted, and starting to come back to the room now. Starting to feel your hands and feet. Starting to recognize the room that you're in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes wide open and awake.